Joe. James.
James.
Now we're James.
Neptune.
Going to share with you.
I run the Penobscot Nation Museum. I am both from the Penobscot and Passamaquoddy. My father was full-blooded Penobscot. My mother was full-blooded Passamaquoddy. Met during World War II over in Hawaii. My father was a fighter down in the islands, and my mother was a cook for the Women's Army Corps. And so I'm one of 6. And we all sort of seem like the same type of spiritual people. All my brothers and sisters. Different from a few others. But I want to sing this song. It's a song that's been passed down from generation to generation. During World War II, they used this song to sort of cleanse the spirit of the people and of the soldiers that were going out to war. And they were also drummed back in when they got home. We had a 100% of age male population going to the armed services during World War II. We even had some men underage sneak in, and some women went in also. So we were pretty fortunate. We only lost 2 amongst all the guys who did go in. And so this song is a healing song. It's called the Medicine Man song, but I started singing it probably about 2 or 3 years ago. We had an elder who was looking to find an apprentice to learn some of the old songs, and so he checked a few of the young people, and the young people just didn't have the perseverance to really outlast or to do it and stuff, or just to even show up. So he came into the museum several times before, complaining and whining that he couldn't find anyone, and so finally I said, well, what about me? And he says, well, yeah, what about you? And so from that day on, I became his apprentice, and throughout that fall and throughout that winter, I became his apprentice, and I started learning some of the old traditional songs from him. And he taught me a lot. And so we worked throughout the fall and winter, laughing, singing, drumming, telling old stories, because I'd known this man my whole life. And so summer was coming. The American Folk Festival was coming to Bangor, and since we were a part of the Maine Arts Foundation, I think it's called, through their apprenticeship program, that's how I learned. So he said, well, you have to come to it and show what you learned. So I says, okay, I'll come, just as long as you lead, I'll follow. And then we had to get a drum. So he brought the fixings to a drum, and it seemed like we just could never find a time to build a drum. And so one of my weekends out, went antiquing. I love antiquing. I was surprised when I was down the Cabot Mill where I was supposed to we did that performance piece last night down there, and I turned in on the wrong side of the building to get to that place, and I saw antiques, flea market. And I knew I was too late, but I was there for the performance, and I got my fill today. So found this drum in an antique store. It was probably someone's drum project, someone who just didn't feel about the drum as they should have. Maybe it just wasn't their time. Because all things come in certain times, you know, and you'll only see things when it's time to see them. You only meet people when it's time to meet them. And so the moose is made out of the drum is made out of the moose hide, and he had a turtle on his drum, and I decided to paint something that came from my past years of drawing and dreaming and ancestral knowledge being passed on through me. So this is the image that I drew. This is one that I painted. Most people say that whatever you do affects everyone else. You're sort of like that pebble that's thrown in the water and it ripples out. You become that changing force sometimes, which I like to do sometimes. I want to help people heal, and that's why I like playing this song, because it's a healing song. And so what it shows is, of course, our cyclic type of lifestyle. We have the east, the south, the west, and the north. These are the 4 physical directions. There are 4 spiritual directions too. I'll let you know over them when it's time. but right now, this tells a story about the 4 physical directions here on Earth that we all know. Each one is a part of the cycle of man. Also, you got childhood when you're born. You got youth when you're growing up. You're growing stronger. This is the sun when it's at its highest. That's why its color is red. Blue is the color of water. This is when you become an adult, and you have to look introspectively into who you are and what you need to do, how well balanced you are in this world. And then, of course, it leads on to your senior years, your elder years. Hopefully wiser than you were in the beginning. So this is a story of when you become balanced like that. You know all the fine qualities and virtues of those 4 directions. You're able to find a doorway, a portal, so to speak, to go from the physical world into the spiritual world. And when you go pass through that door, you become a light being. And when you become a light being, you're able to travel throughout the universe to seek knowledge, to bring back to help yourself, bring back to help your family. You come back to help your people. And then you realize that all people are your people. And so then you try to help all people. So this healing song, I want to ripple out to all 4 directions, and that's why on each direction you'll see on the side the yellow has the yellow ripples, and then I have the red ripples and the blue ripples, and I have the white ripples. So this music, this resonance is rippling out to all 4 directions. So when I sing this song, I tell people to think of people within their family who need healing. A lot of people need healing. There's a lot of physical, mental, and spiritual sickness out there that people have to work their way through. And there's a lot of war-minded people too, and we have to get rid of a lot of that. We have to become a peaceful nation of people. We have to understand one another, and we'll never understand if we don't talk to one another and show who we are from our heart. So this song is from my heart. It's from my people. It's from my ancestors. It comes from a long time in the past, and it comes to this time where it echoes out to all 4 corners for healing. So I have a lot of friends, my uncle especially, who could use healing. But I know with time that we all have, it's our time to go. And I've been looking towards that time. I know it's his time, and he's getting weaker, but he's had a good life. He's met a lot of great people, and a lot of people really respect him and adore him, because he is a likable and lovable man. My Uncle Connie. I call him Uncle Man. So I'll sing this song to all the people everywhere. Doesn't matter what color you are. Doesn't matter how tall you are. Doesn't matter what size you are. So I want it to go to all peoples all over the earth, because a lot of healing is needed everywhere. So we'll start off the song, and hopefully it'll help some people out. And if not many, at least a few. Hopefully some of you that are listening, maybe it'll tear off those blinders that some of you may have or may not have, and look at things from a wider perspective, because I'm trying to give you my perspective. And if you can look from my side, maybe we can become friends. We can get to know one another. Way ahead.